What's up, At Home Gym fam? It is Saturday, July 11th, and welcome to day number 118, 118. Today, we're going after it aggressive with a chief style workout, if you will, meaning multiple AMRAPs, a short rest in between, and an aggregating score. So keep building on this. The AMRAP time is going to be 3 minutes each piece. There is going to be 5 rounds of those, and there's going to be a minute rest in between each. The movement cycle that we're going to be working through is a total of 10 reps of everything. Let's see what I mean by total in a second here. The first movement is going to be dumbbell deadlift. So a dumbbell in each hand, tapping the ground, probably on an angle. I'll demonstrate that in a second so you guys can see. Super easy to modify to kettlebells. The prescribed weight for 10 reps is going to be 50 for the guys in each hand and 35 for the ladies. If we need to modify, all these modifications, are 2 of the 3 are pretty easy, so let's talk about them now. If we need to modify to something else, we can always modify to a band, right? That's a pretty easy adjustment, especially if you guys have multiple bands. Just test them, toss them under the feet. I'll show you how to do that lift in a second, but no brainer if we're going with barbell. The 50 and 35 there's like a multiple there, if you will, for the challenge aspect of it because it's dumbbells and it's going to the ground. So the number for the weight on the barbell isn't necessarily going to correlate super rationally. Meaning I want you guys for a weight to be somewhere in the, for gentlemen, a 155 to 185 range. And then for the ladies, somewhere in the realm of 105 to 125. All right, if we're going with a barbell for the deadlifts. So 10 deadlifts, dumbbells. Second movement is going to be 5 Cossack squats each side. This is going to be a squat and push back to the center, okay? As opposed to a squat and pull the drag leg up behind us. These are not weighted. My modifications on this, I'm going to have you guys keep it really easy and just go with a lateral step up on the box. I'll demonstrate that in a second. If you want to weight this, that is fine. Let's just not make it super heavy because that will drastically slow down the speed of the workout, as well as make this movement very much more complex and possibly a lot easier to break down on. Third, let me speak to that real quick. 10 total reps on the Cossack squat, 5 right, 5 left, alternating back and forth. 10 box jumps is going to be your third and final movement at a normal height for you. So prescribed height is going to be 24 for the guys, 20 for the ladies. A forward jump. Obviously, if we need to modify that, we don't have a box at home. We can use a bench. We can use, if we have a super sturdy coffee table or something, or we can use steps, right? I am probably going to be using, even though I'm going to demonstrate this on a bench, probably going to be using our front steps at the house because they are concrete, in which case I kind of have a little short on the second, but a little high on the third. I'm probably just going to go third until I start to really slow down, and then I'm going to drop down to that second step. All right, so to review, 5 3-minute AMRAPs with a minute rest in between, 10 dumbbell deadlifts, 5 and 5 right left, Cossack squats non-weighted, and 10 box jumps. Remember, wherever you leave off on the first 3 minutes is where you pick up on the second, and so on for the third, fourth, and final 5th AMRAP. Stick around, demos, and any modification demo that I'm going to do.
All right, guys, real quick before we get to the workout, I want to go over something in the warm-up. Don't know that the word hinge spelled out in the warm-up is necessarily going to make sense. So 3-minute AMRAP, you're just going to keep moving between these multiple movements. It's going to be a air squat. Then we're going to go with a left lunge step forward and back into a left-legged hinge. It can be similar to an RDL, it can be similar to deadlift, or it can be a touch of the ground and push back through from there. And then air squat, right leg lunge forward, and finally the right hinge. So make sure whatever leg is pushing back from the lunge is the one that's going into the hinge, creating the hamstring extension and coming back up. All right, guys, let's get into a quick demo of the workout as done in a prescribed manner. So if we have our 2 dumbbells or kettlebells, obviously if you have the choice, kettlebells are going to be a little bit longer, easier to touch the floor with. We're going to go through our 10 deadlifts, tapping the ground from there. A couple things I want you guys to think about, because obviously this is a much shorter piece of equipment than a barbell would be, therefore the movement changes a little bit. First thing is we want to make sure we keep those feet nice and flat. Second thing is that no matter how deep we think we need to go, that lower back stays nice and engaged. Upper back and lats can round off a little bit if they need to, because of the need to get the extra range of motion. We want to keep that lumbar spine in a nice solid position. Make sure we're really pushing through aggressively with the hamstrings from there, getting the knee extension into the hip extension. Now, Cossack Squat is going to be that second movement. A Cossack Squat is a single leg lateral squat that we will be pushing back from, okay? So again, the foot needs to stay nice and flat. I want to be able to keep the knee in line with the toes and really isolate and squat on that driving hip. Kind of let that back leg be mostly a kickstand, nice and loose, let it stretch out from there. It can even rotate a little bit if that allows us to have more focus sitting on this leg. And then finally, we have our third movement, which is our box jump, which can be a bench, set of steps, anything along those lines. All right, so to review, 5 rounds, 3-minute work, picking up where you left off, 1-minute rest at the end of each piece, and then make sure you guys have 1 score at the end of this. Everything is 10, so 10 on the deadlifts, 10 total on the Cossack squats, and 10 on the box jumps.
Stay tuned for movement modifications.
And finally, guys, our modifications. So on the deadlifts, kettlebells, dumbbell, pretty much the same thing. If we only have one of those, and it is a normal weight, not a super heavy weight that makes a lot of sense to go in front, I want you guys to do a single-sided suitcase deadlift. So it's going to be the same thing, just on one side. You have 10 reps, do 5 on the right, 5 on the left, vice versa, or do 10 switch rounds that way. Now, something that's probably going to be pretty popular, it's those people that just have a band. I'm going to hold the band, one on each end, sort of in an overhand barbell type grip. I'm going to slide both pieces of the band under my feet, and I'm going to push through the floor and lift from there. The movement itself is going to be very similar to what your normal deadlift mechanics might be. Obviously, we all know what we're doing on box jump, right? We can always make it smaller. If we need to, we can always modify it to a different kind of jump and go with a double under or something. But if you're going to make it a step up for the box jump, I want you guys to make sure you're going forward on the step up, because the modification for the Cossack squat is going to be a lateral step up. Right, so making sure we're stepping out to the side, pushing through the hip from there. When you guys do this, as long as this upper leg is parallel and down, meaning the knee is at or underneath the hip when it comes to up on the platform here, I want you to give yourself some space, maybe like a foot between the platform you're stepping up on and the outside of your leg and hip, so there's a little more lateral type movement there, okay? Let's keep everything pretty much the same. If you guys want to make this a little bit heavier, if that is your only deadlift option, that is fine. In terms of the reps, since the weight is going to be much lighter, okay? So again, 5 rounds, 3 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest. The deadlift with the band could possibly be higher than 10 reps. Otherwise, let's keep everything else the same, 5 and 5, and then 10 reps.